I know. You read the title of the video and ask yourself, what the hell is this guy thinking? Mojang? A bad studio? It can't be right. They have the best-selling game in history. I still see Minecraft videos getting millions of views, and even my grandpa has heard of Minecraft. And yes, you would be right. Mojang did create the most iconic game in modern history, but just as they created it, they also have neglected it. They changed the original path of the game. They left the original identity of Minecraft way behind in the past. So now I ask you, what happens to a studio that was created thanks to the one game they released if that game isn't the same one anymore? Well, it rots and it becomes a bad studio. Let's talk about Mojang, more specifically about how Mojang has become a bad studio. Let's address the obvious first. In this industry, the quality of a studio is usually measured by the quality in games they release. And the quality of a game is usually measured by either the reviews they get or how many units the game sells. And Mojang released Minecraft. The fact that I don't even have to spend a minute or even seconds explaining to you what Minecraft is, and you're still gonna get the whole context of what I'm talking about in this video, speaks volumes of how big Minecraft is. So if Mojang released Minecraft, it means that Mojang is also successful, right? Or even a good studio? Well, not really. In this video, I want to dive deeper than just the facts of the sales or how popular of a game they created. I want to show you how Mojang started as this studio with an identity and a real roadmap and shifted towards something that's completely the opposite of that. All of this if we especially consider that the Mojang that was created back in 2009 is very different to the one that is managed under Microsoft today. So let's talk about early Mojang. But to talk about early Mojang, we need to talk about Minecraft. And for people that don't know, Minecraft was originally a one-man show. The pre-alpha and the alpha of the game was totally created by one guy, Marcus Persson, or Notch. Everything from the game design, the early concept, the art, the code was made by Notch. And Minecraft exploded in popularity during the alpha days, so in 2010. And the reality of Mojang's creation is that this studio was created out of necessity. It was never intended to be a studio that was gonna release more games, or even a studio that was created out of a passion. Minecraft began growing so much that Notch opted to create Mojang. This helped him with the legal troubles, tax benefits, and at some point, he wanted to scale Mojang up to keep working on Minecraft. And just like that, by early 2011s, Mojang scaled up to 7 members. These 7 members are going to be considered the core members of the Mojang or Minecraft team. So in a way, we can say that Minecraft created Mojang and not the other way around. Aside from Minecraft being this groundbreaking game, we can say that Minecraft got created at the perfect time, and it became a viral sensation thanks to these 2 reasons. The first one being the experience of learning to play Minecraft for the first time. This is clearly tied to the great game design behind it. And the second one is how fast the community snowballed into this big community, and all thanks to another company that was on the rise at the same moment, YouTube. YouTube's site virality basically aligns with Minecraft virality, and it is no secret that both helped each other grow in users and players. YouTube gave a lot of visibility to Minecraft in 2010 and 2011, and vice versa. A lot of new content creators swarmed YouTube to start creating more Minecraft content, as well as users going to the platform to watch Minecraft videos. This led to the creation of one of the biggest communities in gaming and on YouTube at the moment. And you see, that was the thing about Minecraft and its community. It was self-sufficient. Mojang didn't have to do a lot for marketing purposes, and even for improving the game, the community were finding new ways to have fun with what they had available to do in the game already. One of the biggest reasons for this was Notch's initial philosophy when developing Minecraft. He always thought that players would have to pay only a one-time fee, get the game, and after that, if they wanted to get extra content, they could get it from the community. And that's like it is. In the Java version, you can go online, get texture pack, adventure maps, skins, whatever you want for completely free. You just simply download it from other creators that did that thing that you want. But you know what? That same golden nugget of having a self-sufficient game and self-sufficient community was a double-edged sword. This led to people seeing Mojang as lazy, because they didn't really need to improve or add much to the game for people to have fun. And you know what? I think that at one point, even if Mojang wanted to add more, on the back of their minds, they started believing that they really didn't to add that much more for the game to keep being fun, and that was a problem. But you see, this laziness problem, I don't think it comes from the core development team of Minecraft or Notch himself. Minecraft was Notch's passion project, and he even mentions that he never developed Minecraft with an intended target audience in mind. He just created this game for himself, and Notch also had something very powerful playing for his side: the indie developer philosophy. He acted as a developer that actually cared about making games and made them with passion. You can even see it in the movie The Story of Mojang. When someone asks him to define an indie developer, he answers, "An indie developer is someone that makes games for the sake of making games and treat them as an art form. And a lot of big studios treat games as a product or a brand." And this was exactly Notch's philosophy when making games, and most importantly, when developing Minecraft. This gave Minecraft an edge over any other AAA game that was created before. So going back to this laziness problem, this problem began especially when Notch stepped down as Minecraft's creative director, and when Mojang took an irreversible turn, when they got sold to Microsoft in 2014. To the shock of absolutely no one, Mojang started becoming this bad studio when they shifted from being this loved indie studio to becoming a branch of this AAA corporation. It was at this point that Mojang not only lost their founder, but with it, they lost their core identity and their philosophy in developing their only game. Continuing with Mojang losing Notch, we can also argue that once he left, Minecraft or Mojang lost a lot of their original success and direction with it. Like I mentioned in the beginning, Mojang was never intended to be created as a normal game studio. It was only created due to Minecraft's success. The idea of Minecraft, the core of Minecraft, and the direction that Minecraft was gonna take was all ideated by one man, Notch. And I understand that some people may have an opinion as Notch as a person, but as a developer, you can't really say much. He is a mastermind of this, and he ended up creating one of the most revolutionary games in modern gaming history. And with him leaving Mojang, the studio lost what made them in the first place. So it will make sense that some of the decisions that we will look into right now seem pointless or just like bad decisions, because the reality is that the heart of the studio left a long time ago. One in-game example that might have never happened if Notch was still in charge came in version 1.12 in 2017, when Mojang was already under Microsoft's supervision. Mojang decided to add the recipe book to the core of the game. The recipe book basically tells you every craft that you can make with the materials you have available right now. In my humble opinion, as someone that used to play the early days of Minecraft, this kind of update kinda ruins the point of the game. Minecraft was never about helping you out. Minecraft was about dropping you in a world and you figuring out what the hell were you gonna do. Having to go to the wiki, looking for YouTube videos, or just looking online was a big part of the Minecraft experience. And you know what? It clearly worked, because before 2017, Minecraft already was a revolutionary game and loved by people. And you can think, the recipe book is such a pointless thing to mention. Why mention that? But you know what? It showcases what we were talking about before, that the original identity of the game was long gone, and that the direction that Minecraft or Mojang was taking with the game was very different than the one intended at the beginning. Another point taking us in this direction of Mojang becoming a bad studio is looking at the updates that the game has released after parting ways with the main core development team. So when basically they got acquired by Microsoft. The last update made by the original core team of Mojang was the 1.8 update, most notably adding the water monuments. This update was released in September of 2014, and after that, it came the first update from the new Mojang, update 1.9. Aside from almost having to wait 2 years for this update to be released, coming from yearly or bi-yearly updates, the 1.9 update, the combat update, is seen as one of the most controversial and hated updates in Minecraft history. Most people argue that this update ruined the game and killed the PvP community. And you know what? This argument does hold a little bit of truth to it. Cause you see, this update changed the whole way that PvP was supposed to be played now. And this changed the multiplayer community a lot. Before this update, PvP servers were massive, and you could say that one of the biggest, if not the biggest community inside Minecraft was the PvP community. After this update, people didn't like how it was played, so the multiplayer community completely shifted. They went from massive PvP servers to a more of a survival multiplayer or SMP oriented multiplayer gaming. PvP nowadays is basically dead. And I'm not saying that SMP is a bad style of playing or whatever. I'm just trying to point out that Mojang killed a whole community inside their game and they didn't even bat an eye. Still on the topic of versions, we can even say that this new Mojang, or the Mojang under Microsoft, got their first good update in 2019 with the Pillagers and Villagers update. So if we look at the years, it took them 5 years to get their first good update after parting ways with the original Minecraft team. During these years before 2019, Minecraft was a little bit in a dormant period. And I can see why. They were probably going through a transition period, but most importantly, Mojang was trying to get their shit together. And you know what? The community was aware of this. They did head-scratching decisions like mob community voting, where they presented a lot of cool mobs, people voted, and they ended up adding one instead of adding 2 or 3 that the community actually liked a lot. This was clearly discontinued in 2024 because the community didn't really stick with it. On paper, this was a great idea, but the execution was very poor, and this shows you how Mojang was scrambling around and still trying to figure out how to get everything together and running after parting ways with the original core development team. I have to make a quick note about Notch's involvement as Minecraft director, because some people may say that I'm harshly blaming Microsoft here when Notch stepped down as the Minecraft director in 2012, which is completely true. In 2012, Notch decided to step down as the head of Minecraft and left Jeb in charge. But, and a big but, is that the roadmap and the direction that the game was taking during those years was still ideated by Notch and the core development team of Minecraft once they sat down in 2011 to plan for the 1.0 release and the future of it. So, even if Jeb was in charge of Minecraft for the final 2 years before being bought by Microsoft, it is fair to assume that the ideas and updates that they were working on were ideated by Notch. And just to close out the examples of how Mojang was becoming a bad studio through in-game additions and updates, I had to mention the addition of microtransactions into Minecraft. Minecoins, for people that don't know, are the virtual currency of Minecraft in Bedrock Edition, so in the console edition. Minecoins work like V-Bucks or Robux, where you get the virtual currency and with this you buy skins, texture packs, maps, whatever. Sounds dumb, right? Well, because it is. Because all of this stuff, you can get it completely for free on the Java version. But my biggest problem here is why the hell did you have to include a blatant attempt of getting money from your players in this version of the game? When your core philosophy and your main game, the Java version, you can get them completely for free. Why not add a community marketplace where people can upload their things for free, and then if someone wants to pay, they can donate to them? And if you're really hungry for money, you can take a percentage of those donations for you. But no, you had to jump on the ship of microtransactions and becoming a pain in the ass for your users. Please bear in mind that Minecoins were introduced in 2017. So if we go back to one of the points that the first good update they released was in 2019, we're talking here that even before releasing one good update, Microsoft was already implementing microtransactions into the game. This clearly shows how Mojang's head was in a complete different path than the one originally intended. They were more focused on trying to get back the initial investment that Microsoft did on them than giving the player a good game and good updates. And once again showing that Mojang was going completely against Notch's original philosophy for the game. Even Notch has expressed how the game has taken a turn that he never envisioned, saying how the game turned into this commercial product rather than an actual enjoyable game. There's a bunch of other little details that I can mention of why Mojang has gone this route of a bad studio, like how they have split with the community, or how they created 2 versions for the game, how they forced you to merge your account with a Microsoft account, and if you didn't merge them in time you would lose everything. I know about it, I lost 4 accounts with it. And basically saying that if you didn't do it, it was your fault and not theirs, and that they can do anything about it. It's just all a shit show, and many other things. Minecraft simply stopped feeling like the original game they made. It started feeling like this cash cow and this product that Microsoft was using just to get those 2.5 billions back. Microsoft stopped exploring new options with Minecraft because they couldn't make any rush decisions since they needed this money and they needed Minecraft to be this main product, this cash cow. And you know what? That's exactly how Microsoft is treating the game. like a cash cow. And just like a cash cow is exactly how Mojang is managing things now. A huge red flag in games and in development is when a company or a studio gets big. And that's exactly what happened to Mojang. They went from around 30 employees in 2014 to 600 plus employees today. And you might not know my opinion on this, but I fully believe that bigger studios do not make better games. This shows two things. One, that Mojang is no longer an indie studio. Hence, their philosophy and approach when making games is very different and probably more than one of a AAA studio. And two, that managing such a big number of employees can become a very difficult situation. It becomes hierarchical and it halts production and development cycles, making everything more complex. Yes, growing in size could potentially bring more speed in development cycles, but at the same time, it brings more bloat in terms of you get more production costs because you gotta pay more salaries, as well as even creating jobs that at some point will not be even needed anymore. But most importantly, it shows you that they take the focus of the main things and the one thing that matters, the game, and you put your focus on another thing. A good quote that stuck with me comes from the same movie I mentioned before, The Story of Mojang. It comes from Peter Molyneux, I think it's pronounced like that was the head of the Fable games at that time, and ironically, a head of a Microsoft studio back in 2012.
I mean, I think the perfect size for me is once you reach over 20 people, that's when it gets really tough. Because then you need to have another layer of people to manage the people that are there. And when you can all fit in one office and you can stick your head up and say, oh, what's that you're working on? Or, you know, look at this, everybody, that's a perfect size. But once you get over that, it's really, really tough.
I think we can all agree that most developers would think like this, and it's the corporations that want this mega employee structure in their studios and companies. At the end of the day, these mega employee structures only create delays and problems in production. And you know what? Even Notch says that he didn't want to scale Mojang up so big. He didn't want an office of 150 people, saying that it would feel like a 9-to-5 job, and even mentions another studio that says that they scale up in size, and yes, the quality in their games look better, but the games are not fun anymore. And that's what's Notch's philosophy, making fun, playable games. Mojang right now as a studio is the complete opposite of what Notch envisioned. It went completely the opposite side of the founder's main vision, roadmap, and philosophy. And this is a huge point of why Mojang is considered a bad studio. If you only released one game as a studio, and that game's idea and development was inside one man's head, and you don't have that man anymore in your team, how can you pretend your game to have a solid future? And if you only have one game, and that game isn't up to par anymore, how can you pretend that your studio is any good too? And let me just double down on the point mentioned before. Mojang has only released 2 other games aside from Minecraft and the various variations of Minecraft they have released. Caller's Bane or Scrolls and Crown and Council. Have you heard of them before? I really doubt it, because the reality is that none of those games even grasped a little bit of the success that Minecraft got in the first place. And you know what? One may argue that with the rapid success and growth of Minecraft, they didn't really have time to develop other games, or all the attention of the studio had to go to Minecraft's development. But this also shows another important point that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Minecraft isn't Mojang, but Mojang is Minecraft. So here lies the question again. How successful can a studio really be if their original purpose was to legally and financially shelter one game? And once again, if that game that made this studio was made by one person and that person isn't there anymore, how can the studio still be considered good if the essence of it's gone? All of the points mentioned in this video were intended to answer the one question of this video. Is Mojang a bad studio? They have had a gold mine in their hands for so long, but have they really made the most out of it? The answer to this question is very subjective. In terms of sales, relevance, and influence, Minecraft is probably one of the top games in this category. So this is a brain dead answer, right? I mean, with this track record, any studio would be delighted of having one game, one release, and have all of these stats to show for. But you know what? In terms of how everything has been handled, how they handled the transition with Microsoft, and also the direction that the game seems to be taking, I wouldn't be so sure. I think that the Mojang of today isn't really a studio that cares about Minecraft or the game itself, but rather is a studio that just cares about this IP and how they can milk the fuck out of it to get every single cent that they can from it. You know, at the end of the day, one of the biggest points made in this video was how Notch left Mojang and the studio, and how after him leaving, everything became directionless and they lost their philosophy, etc. And some people may say, well, it's his own fault for selling it. He just didn't want to be there anymore. And you would be right. That is true. He did drop out of head of Minecraft 2 years before even selling, and all because the game was becoming way too big for him. He just really wanted to go back to making games as they're supposed to be. He wanted to go back to making fun games and not being involved in this complex giant of employees and corporations that come with making massive games. So with all that said, even if the founder leaving meant that the whole identity of the game was gonna be left behind, it was the own creator that decided to pull the plug on it. My guess is that if it was up to Microsoft, Notch would have stayed in charge of the decision making in Minecraft, even after taking over. Oh, and if you guys were wondering, I do know that Jeb is currently the CEO or creative director of Minecraft under Microsoft right now, which makes me wonder why the hell did Minecraft took so long to get their shit together if they have an original core member of the team as a CEO and main game developer. I guess Minecraft has been picking it up with the Caves and Cliffs update, but in reality, only time will tell. You know, this video hits close to home. Minecraft was the game that made me passionate about games, development, and even making YouTube videos. And I guess that is why it hurts even more seeing them go down this road. It is funny, because the movie I quoted throughout the video, The Story of Mojang, was created by members of the Minecraft community, funded via Kickstarter, and it was made with the purpose of showcasing the awesome community Minecraft was able to build, as well as the people working behind this blocky game. It was a way to humanize the studio behind this massive success and getting them closer to the community. And it is very ironic to see that today's Mojang couldn't be further away from the Mojang displayed in that movie. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I feel that we're really close to hitting 100 subscribers and you don't know how much I have been enjoying making this video. So please, if you like the video, like it and subscribe so we can keep growing this small community. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.